Hello, you're very welcome to today's Lunch and Earn. I'm your host, Sarah Leather, and what I'm talking about today is about your vision to get more clients, your vision to have more successful business, your vision to move forward in the world. I've been thinking about this topic for the last few days, and there's one quote that's come up several times, and I'm just going to share with you the shortened version of it. And it's by Rumi, and it says, "Everyone has been made for some particular work, and the desire for that work has been put in every heart." Isn't that beautiful? Because I think we are all here. We all have a greater purpose for what we're doing here. And it breaks my heart when I hear people say, like, they just have to work to earn the money and, that's all there is until they retire. And then they have to make do on the money they've got for retirement. And I think as business owners, we really have an opportunity to make more than enough money so that we can have the life that we desire, and we can contribute and we can do all the things that we want to do with our money. It just gives us freedom. Like, so many of us crave freedom, and it is money that gives us that freedom. So when it comes to looking at your vision, I love looking at your vision about what it will be much further in the future. And I want to preface this by saying that your vision doesn't have to be, you don't have to be living your vision now and every day. You're on your path to it. But a client of mine would often hear me talking about not your life's purpose, but your season of purpose. So in this season of your life, maybe due to external circumstances, it might be that you have children, it might be that you have elderly parents, it might be that you've got some other circumstance going on at the moment, that it could be the age you are, how your health is, all sorts of different factors, that this is the season that you're in right now. And really I want you to focus on this season, but with a view in mind of what your vision is moving forward. And this is the vision piece is the first piece in my 7-step process, which is called the Business SOS. And SOS stands for Simply One Solution. And it's the one thing that you're doing. It's a sort of a really amazing way of simplifying all the complicated parts of business so that you can create a really abundant business moving forward. It's the framework I'm using in the Mastermind School, where I help women to create abundant, profitable groups in their business. We start with one-on-one. Lots of them are just purely working on one-on-one work. But back to the vision piece, I want you to keep, know that where you are at the moment is absolutely fine, but having your vision there acts like a North Star for you. So you've got this kind of guiding light to move towards. And the place I really like to start with around a vision is thinking about your legacy. And a great way to think about that is thinking of, in 100 years' time, what will be the ripple effect of your work in the world? So if you work with one person a week for the rest of your working days, imagine what the ripple effect could that be on other people in the community, on the people around them, then on the generations that come after them. So this is something that you can just kind of maybe check in with yourself over the next few days and just think, what is the potential ripple effect in 100 years of your work right now? It's quite profound to think about it in that way, isn't it? And once you have that, you can pull it back then to think about maybe in 3 years' time, what do you want? Who are you being? Who are you being in your business? What's the vision of yourself that you have then? You don't need to know any specifics or any fine details for your 3-year vision of yourself, but really think about, who is it that you're being in 3 years' time? So just try and think about, like, who is that woman? What kind of impact is she having? I like the term courageous impact. What kind of courageous impact is she making in the world? No matter what's going on in her current circumstances, what is that impact that she's having in the world? You might have a vision of maybe standing and speaking from the stage. You might have a vision of yourself doing a book tour, signing copies of your book. You might have a vision of yourself running a masterclass with a handful of people on there or hundreds or thousands of people on there. You might have a vision of yourself working in an allotment, in your allotment, maybe creating gorgeous food for yourself or your family, and just maybe doing a little bit of work on the side to support the lifestyle that you have. There are no rules here when it comes to your vision of yourself. Who is she? Who is that woman? And what is the impact that she's making in the world? So have a think about how that might look, how that might play out. And the next of my 7 steps is all around the business model. So we'll go a little bit deeper into that, and that'll be my next lunch and earn will be around your business model. But for now, I want you to stay with the vision, stay with that vision of yourself in a few years' time. And what is it that that you are creating in the world? And there's nothing wrong with having modest goals. You don't have to, or even probably prefer the word intention than goals, because goals can sound very masculine, but it really doesn't matter that much. What is it that you want in the world, and what is your, what is the intention that you have around that, and the intention for your work in the world. And a woman that is very much in touch with her vision can create incredible things, can create an incredible impact. But as I said, those intentions can be modest. You don't have to get out there. You don't have to be a crusader on stage. You don't have to start a charity. You don't have to, start some kind of foundation or do something that maybe will absolutely deplete you and take you away from what's actually important to you. Maybe you've got really strong family values, and it's very important for you to spend a lot of time at home. It has been like that for me for many years. My youngest of 4 children is now 18, but my kids kind of still need me. They still need my input in their life. But one of the best things I can do for my kids is be a role model and show them how I'm a woman that takes very good care of myself, and I'm a woman that goes out in the world and is financially independent and is able to support the family moving forward. So what is it that is your vision of yourself in a few years' time? And that may be it will change. It always does. But just knowing that who you're being as you move through your business, and you can bring it back then to a closer time, like it might be 6 months to 12 months time. I think 12 months is something that we can conceptualize a whole lot more than 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. And in 12 months time, what's that vision of yourself in your business? What are you creating? We'll get more into this when we talk about business models, but really, what's the vision, and how much does it reflect to what you're actually doing right now? So in 12 months' time, where would you love to be? One way to really help you to check in with this is to think about your values. Your values basically are what's important to you. So if you sit down and just jot down a few values and think like, what if they're really important to me? What then would be the vision of my business? So you could have values maybe around wealth and family, independence, maybe adventure and travel. I think I've just reeled off my values. And so therefore, what kind of way do you need to be working to support those values? Because your values are always going to be tied in with your vision. And if they're not, you've got a real values disconnect there, and one's going to lose out. So your vision of yourself and your values absolutely need to line up. You just continue to ask yourself, like, who am I being? This vision of myself, who am I being? And it doesn't matter if your vision of yourself is talking on a stage in front of 100,000 people, or running a membership site with thousands of people that's bringing in 7 figures a year, or if it is going to be that you are, as I said before, digging up, spending as much time as you can in your allotment in the city. It doesn't matter. Or sitting on your couch reading a book or watching Netflix. I don't care. It doesn't matter what your vision is. It's just got to be your vision, and you've got to love who you're being in that vision, and it's got to be in line with your values and what's really, really important to you. And think about how much money you really desire to bring into your business, because that's part of your vision as well. And think about that. And I would always ask, what's the most easeful way you could create that income? because as women we tend to make things more complicated than what they actually need to be. They don't need to be that, it doesn't need to be that complicated. I mean, my business model now is very much aligned to, you know, one of my programs that I am building and building. That's the Mastermind School, and that's this framework, the Business SOS, the Simply One Solution is the framework for it, and that will entitle me to enable me is a better word than entitled, enable me to run things exactly in line with my vision, with the intentions that I have. And also one of my high values is around being of service. I absolutely adore being of service to women in business and helping them to create that ripple effect. So what I said before about your legacy in 100 years' time, and that ripple effect that you are putting out there, is that you are creating in the world, you know, that really does come back to what you start, who you're being today, who you're being in your business today, and what you're creating moving forward. So if you want to hear any more about, you know, about having a bit of a business SOS, you Simply One Solution in your business, or it might be when I first started coaching, I always do, I still write down the first words. So the same was when I ran my health practice for years. I'd always write down the first words that women would say to me, and very often it was something around rescue me or help me or save me from this situation. And it's the same in business. So many women are working in a way that just doesn't feel in alignment to, very often it's just not in alignment to their values. They have big values maybe around freedom, as very often the reason they left their 9 to 5 or whatever kind of job they're in the first place, and now they're working in a business where they're working even longer hours for less money, and it's just like, help, how can I get past this? And when I help women to double their income working less hours with working a lot smarter. And it does not need to be hard, and it can actually be great fun. And that's what we do in the Mastermind School. We have great fun creating group programs. They can be in person, they can be online. A lot of women are taking their business online in a really simple way. A lot of women that I work with are similar age to myself, and their brains get a bit, you know, fried if there's too many complicated steps or anything's too hard. So it's got to be really, really simple. And also to free them up with time to get on and do other things in their life that they want to be doing. So if you want to hear more about that, send me a message. I would love to hear from you, and I'll get you more information, and we can just see what would serve you to really help you to step into that vision that you're creating for yourself and create that legacy, that ripple effect in 100 years' time of your amazing work getting out there in a much more easeful and a much more abundant way. So you do not, the last thing, when I talk about being of service is amazing. Being of servitude isn't, and that's what's happening with so many women in business, that they're just completely being the slave girl in their business instead of being the queen, of really just doing too much, working too many hours. It just feels so hard. So I would love to hear from you. Let me know. I'll pop a link here as well, so you can get in touch. And I want to hear about your vision. So please share with me what your vision is of yourself. And I'd love to know what the ripple effect is in 100 years' time of your business. It really can be quite incredible. So for today, thank you so much for being here on today's Lunch and Earn. Sending you lots of love, and please do get in touch if you want to know how I can help you to double your income working less hours in a much more easeful way. Okay, bye for now.